What's going on, people? Welcome to my new YouTube channel, FPL of the Day. I am Jay London, and in this video we're talking about Fantasy Premier League chips. Not McDonald's, not Burger King, not French fries, nothing like that. I did mention in the first video, if you haven't seen it, link down below, all the basics and things like that. Now we're going to continue that with FPL chips. I'll explain how to use them, when kind of the best time is to use them. We'll do that maybe a little bit more in depth as the season goes on, but I just want to make sure that you're up to date. Okay, so before we dive in, please make sure you have subscribed, because that is what I need to say at the beginning of the video, and it really does help. It's a brand new page and I'm trying to do everything that I can to move up the ranks and in the searches. So if you've discovered this video, welcome. Please subscribe, give it a little like, and let's dive in. So FPL chips are like your special move. They're the thing that you activate when you want to move up the ranks, you want to gain some ground on the people that are chasing you, or maybe you're trying to chase someone in your mini league. You only get 4 of them, so you need to make sure that you're using them wisely. And those 4 chips are your wildcard, your bench boost, your triple captain, and your free hit. As I say, once you've used it, it's gone. Wildcard is the only one that you get 2 of, one at the start of the season and one at the end of the season. So let's start with that first. So your wildcard is a chip that allows you to completely change your team from what it was to what you want it to be. Obviously, it still needs to fall into budget, so you still need to make sure that you're sticking to the 100 million. And please do make sure you're paying attention to price rises, because as the season goes on, players' prices do increase. So be very, very careful with that. What I would say though as well, a little disclaimer, is there's no right time or wrong time to use a chip. But if you're using your wildcard at the start of the season, then that probably means you haven't set your team up very well at the beginning, because before the season starts, you get unlimited transfers. And if you're using a wildcard to change your team completely in like week 2 or week 3, then maybe there's something wrong there. Not that there's a bad time to use it, but you want to try to avoid that at all costs. The time that you want to be using the wildcard is once you've identified all the best players that are going to be playing throughout the season. Then you can really switch it up and bring in all those people that, oh man, should have got that guy. Next up is free hit, which is very, very similar to your wildcard. Only difference is once you've changed your team, it goes back to what it was before, if that makes sense. So again, you get 100 million to put in the players that you do want to put in, but once that game week is over, that's done. All right, it goes back to the original team that you had before. Best time to use this, and a lot of the times that people like to use this, is when there's like a blank game week. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, we will cover that later on the channel. And have a little look at the video that I did down below. I'll put a link in the description, or maybe link it up there, on the basics on how to play FPL, where we tackle some of the things that you'll hear and some of the terminology that you might hear throughout the rest of the season. So if there's a blank game week, that means, I don't know, maybe you've got a star-studded team, you've got Mo Salah, you've got Harry Kane, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, and none of them are playing. You might want to use your free hit to allow you to play some differentials. You might want to put in like some people that you've identified from before that you think, oh, that's a really good fixture, and they might do something really good. And then your team will revert back to your star-studded team with your Mo Salahs, with your Kevin De Bruyne's and your Harry Kane after that. So in the first video on FPL of the day, which I've linked down below and up there in the description, all over the gaff, I spoke to you about your captain and it being one of the most important things that you can do in every single game week throughout the season. One of the chips that triples that is your triple captain. Yes, that means you get triple the points for any player that scores the points on that game week. So for example, you might have a player that scores 10 points in a game week, all right? You put the triple captain chip on that player, it's going to triple, so he's going to get 30 points. See my maths there. The best time to use these are when a player has something called a double game week. That means you can really utilize that chance to get maximum points. They might blank in the first game, but then get some points in the next game. Or they might get loads of points in the first game and then score a hat-trick in the second game. Fact is, they've got 2 opportunities to get some points. If you've got no idea what a double game week is, stay tuned to the channel and I will continue to update you, keep you posted with the lingo and things like that. But in a nutshell, it's when a team has 2 fixtures in a single game week. madness. Sometimes 3. Last season, Man United played like 7 games in 2 days. Last but not least is the bench boost. Now, again, in the first video that I did on the basics on how to play FPL, I mentioned that you have 15 players, 4 on the bench and 11 up front, okay? Those are the players that play every single week unless you make your subs. But once you activate the bench boost, then that means everybody in the team, including your bench, are going to get the points for your team as long as they score them. Make sense? So, for example, you might have a whole heap of players on the bench that you can't decide, oh, do you know what? I really want to play that player, but then this player's really good and that player's got a really good fixture. That's a good time to use your bench boost, especially if there's a double game week. So make sure you're paying attention to those double game weeks. So there you have it. Those are all of your FPL chips explained. If it helps, then do let me know, all right? Tweet me at FPL of the day. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to see on the next video. We will get into some more in-depth stuff, some more strategies. We'll talk about players, first drafts and things like that on FPL of the day. So stay locked to the channel. Make sure you have subscribed, please, because it does help. And I'll see you on the next one.